Hey everyone, welcome again to Geography 341, Nature and Society in California. This short video is going to serve as an introduction to the syllabus and go a little bit over course layout. I will cover some of the points of the syllabus here, the major ones, but I encourage you, if you haven't already, to read that document pretty thoroughly. So my name is Jamie Speed Rossiter. I am an environmental geographer. My research focuses mainly on conservation, marine protected areas, and a little bit of urban agriculture. You can find me during office hours at Google Hangouts from 9 to 10 on Wednesday mornings or by appointment. You do not need a Gmail account to use Google Hangouts, although it's a little easier if you have one. But if you go to Google Hangouts, you can log in with just about any email account and create an account that way. So I will be on Google Hangouts from 9 to 10 a.m. Under my email address, which is jsrossiter@csusm.edu. And you also can find me at that email address. I will respond to your emails, generally speaking, if it's not a holiday, within 24 hours. So the course description, has California influenced people, or have people changed California? This course will review the historical context within which Spanish, Mexican, European, and Asian settlers arrived in California, including consideration of the state's physical geography, the evolution of nature-society relationships, related myths, social relations, economic trajectories, political currents, and cultural dynamics. Through readings and film, discussions, and lecture, you will pursue classic themes in geography such as natural resource exploitation, regional development, and urban-rural relations. There's a lot in that course description. We're going to do the best that we can to cover as much of that as possible in this very, very short 3-week class. Your required text, which is definitely required, you have 3 chapters in it to read this week, is The Human Tradition in California, which is edited by Davis and Eigler. It is available pretty inexpensively on Amazon. It's also, there's plenty of used copies available at the bookstore, and if you haven't acquired that yet, you're going to want to do that so immediately. This is an online course, so familiarity and with Cougar courses is a must. There's the website for Cougar courses, which you've already found if you're watching this video. There's also on the Cougar courses website some resources for you for instructional technology on campus should you need help. I can help you with course content, but if you have questions about how to use Cougar courses effectively, I highly suggest that you use those campus resources. This course is divided into 4 modules. And the first module, which you'll do this week, covers physical foundations, and then we'll move on to social forces, industrial foundation, and political foundation. You want to pay close attention to the dates those modules are due, although most of them are due on a Saturday, but all of those materials are always due by midnight on that day. So the first one is due on December 23rd. And you're going to want to make sure that everything that you need to submit is submitted by midnight on that day. So the coursework is pretty simple for this class, mainly because in a 3-week class we can't really build up to a final project or a final paper. So you're going to be constantly writing throughout the semester. So we have writing exercises. There are 10 total exercises that you're going to do worth 20 points each. You have 2 as part of the first module, 3 in the following 2 modules, and then 2 in the last module to make a total of 10. And then each module has a quiz that goes with it. So once you finish a module, there's a quiz at the end, then we move on to new material. Again, it's kind of, I don't like the idea of building a 3-week course and then testing you at everything at the end. So you're going to have 4 different quizzes worth 50 points each. Those quizzes are not particularly long. They'll range between 10 and 15 questions that can be a mix of all different question formats. But generally speaking, no essays. Any response that you give should not be longer than 1 to 4 sentences. And then finally, in the last module, there's a final anonymous survey that I ask you to do that's worth 15 points. That kind of gives me feedback and allows me to hopefully improve the class in the future. So we'll have more specific questions about it than you get on the standard university survey that you do, but will allow me to just kind of tweak this course moving forward. So that makes a total of 415 points for the entire class. Late assignments, full credit for late assignments will only be given in the case of a documented illness or another valid documented reason. 10% will be deducted per day for lateness. So if you miss that midnight deadline and you need to hand something in a day late, please hand it in. It's better to have something be a day late and potentially get 90% of the credit than lose the credit altogether. After 1 week, assignments will not be accepted, but it's important to note, again, we're in a very compressed course, so getting behind by a week would not be good for you. Never mind the points lost, but no work will be accepted after the final day of the semester. And again, it's due to the short nature of this class. So the final day of the semester is January 13th, I believe, and so everything is due by then. I will not accept any work. So that final module, you want to make sure that you definitely complete that one on time. This is available. I'm not going to read this entire thing, but if you need special accommodations, please. In fact, this says within the first 2 weeks of class, but obviously sooner than that, since we're only a 3-ish week class, 3.5 week class. You're going to want to contact me as soon as possible to let me know if you need some sort of special accommodations. Cheating and plagiarism. Cheating, including plagiarism, will not be tolerated in the class. Any student caught cheating will receive a grade of 0 on that assignment and will be reported to the university. Please keep in mind that plagiarism includes any use of another person's words or ideas without proper citation. And if you have any further doubts or questions about what constitutes plagiarism, please see me. But ignorance will not be accepted as an excuse. If you're taking this class, you're a junior or a senior, it's a 300 level class. I expect at this point that you know what plagiarism is and how not to do it. All of your writing exercises, with the exception of potential discussion posts, will be turn-in assignments that will be checking for plagiarism. I ask that if you are just using course materials in your response, you don't need to cite those. We've all read them, and so I know where that information is coming from. But if you are using any type of outside material in your answers, you're going to want to include a citation for that. And even though you're allowed to use those course materials, right, you can't copy them for verbatim and put them in. That would be plagiarism. And so our course schedule, which is one of the shortest course schedules that I've ever written, our first module, the physical foundations, starts on December 20th, is due on December 23rd. It's only 4 days long. You have 2 writing quizzes, 2 writing exercises that are due and a quiz, and you're supposed to read chapters 1 to 3. The chapters that are listed on the syllabus are not including other readings that might be included as part of the module, which I'll show you in a minute. There is no class on the 24th or the 25th for the Christmas holiday. The next module will start on the 26th and run through the 30th, although I will not respond to email and do not expect you to be working on the Christmas holiday. That module will probably post a little bit early. In that second module, you're going to watch a film, complete 3 reading exercises. We have 4 chapters to read. Module 3, the industrial foundations, you have 3 reading exercises in the quiz. We're going to bang out 5 chapters that week. Again, this class moves pretty fast. Module 4 only has 1 chapter, although there are some more supplemental readings that I'm going to include in there. Those will all be available on Cougar Courses. So just really quick, I'm going to get out of my PowerPoint and we're going to go over to the Cougar Courses website. And this is what you should be seeing. So you hopefully watched first, meet your instructor. By the time you get in there, it'll say watch second, introduction to the syllabus, but I'm recording that video right now, so it's not there. There's some resources for you to get help. I encourage you to ask your fellow students for help in this forum rather than automatically emailing me. And then you're going to move down to Module 1. Right now, all you can see is Module 1. You cannot work ahead in this class. Otherwise, that would be considered a correspondence course, which is not what we're supposed to do in online classes. You are supposed to be moving at the same pace of the class. So the module will not post, generally speaking, until the day that it says so on the syllabus. But the way that the modules are organized is what you're supposed to be doing in that module is numbered. And so for Module 1, I'll run through it here really fast. The first thing, there's nothing to click on here. You're just supposed to read Chapter 1 in your textbook. And the chapters in your textbook are fairly short. Then you're going to watch my lecture, part 1 of my lecture. These links will take you to YouTube where my lectures are hosted. Then you're going to watch the first 18.5 minutes of this video. Kumeyaay, our people, our culture, our history. Then you're going to read this article on Kumeyaay cultural landscapes, watch the second part of lecture, watch a 2-part documentary that's about 45 minutes long on Junipero Serra and the California missions, read a very short article about him, read Chapter 3 in your textbook, and then you're going to move on to your 2 exercises. You can preview here the instructions to those exercises if you want to keep them in mind while you're doing your readings. And then finally your quiz. So it's designed for you to follow along with this, with the order of this and do these things in order. You can skip around a little bit, but it kind of chronologically makes sense like that. So this is what you will be seeing for every module. Some will be longer than others, obviously, but there is an incredible amount of material to cover in a very, very short period of time. So you're going to want to stay on top of it. I cannot stress that enough. So good luck with Module 1, and please feel free to contact me with any questions.